Join Ashili Sports as we dive into the aftermath of Newcastle United's shocking win over Arsenal in St. James Park and see if we can find out why Arsenal or the Gunners keep flopping in big matches. What's up, guys? Welcome to Ashili Sports. If you are new, hit the subscription button, like and share the video. With me is Ima, and we will be dealing or going into more tactically or what really happened to Arsenal losing 1-0, a match which was a crucial game for Arsenal this season, but ended up flopping, losing 1-0. But Newcastle United, the Magpies, have gotten the 3 valuable points against Arsenal. Ima, this reminds me of Patrick Evra saying that Arsenal is like Netflix. When you finish the season, you keep waiting for the next season. Well, I was so unhappy with the statement, but today's explain why, or today gives me why Patrick Evra said that. Do you think this game was a must win for Arsenal, or was a game Arsenal could have gotten that 3 valuable points, but once again just show us a poor performance in the game?
Yeah, it was always going to be a difficult game. Going to St. James Park to play against Newcastle United was not an easy match for Arsenal, but I was looking forward to see maybe them getting a point or possibly getting all the 3 points. Unfortunately, Alexander Isak's goal on the 12 minutes, ended the game and they couldn't equalize and, add more goals to it. So I think looking at Newcastle's performance against Chelsea in the midweek, the EFL Cup, it was always going to be a difficult game for Arsenal. I think for Patrice Evra's comment, me personally, I didn't raise my hopes high this season because I've seen Arsenal disappoint me 2 seasons in a row, last season and last 2 seasons. So I was like, nah, these people, they are just playing with our minds. And if you raise your hopes that much, it's the hopes that kills. It will get to a time you not even see the improvements. And this season, I think it has started early. Last season, we were able to maintain the top spot for a couple of weeks. And unfortunately, we didn't win the league. But this season, the defeats have started early. And for me, I think Arsenal fans should just, forget about the league. Maybe we should look elsewhere, other trophies. But for the league, I'm not sure this team can win us the league. But it's rather unfortunate that this Arsenal team has not given us any trophy. But just as Patrice Evra said, we have to look forward to next season. And yeah, what else can we say? For me personally, I'm not disappointed. I just didn't raise my hopes high for this season's Arsenal team. I thought maybe we should just forget about the trophies and maybe go just maintain the performance that we like exhibiting now. But for trophies, I'm not sure. Maybe at the end of the season, we might get a trophy or we might even go trophyless.
Arsenal season once again, inconsistency and disappointing performance for sure. And hey, the Gunners have shown us time and time that when it comes to big games, they are not going to show up for sure. And this is one of the games that I think it was crucial point for Arsenal to battle in and win for the title. But then I don't get why this is happening. And we will have to show, like, is it a tactical problem? Is it lack of motivation to the players? Or is just a plain disappointing performance? Because with this performance, you can't keep on saying you are missing one particular player. If he was there, he could have changed it. But then last season, he was still there. What is really happening? Do you think it's lack of the captain in the game actually make Arsenal?
Yeah, I think Martin Odegaard's absence has been a great mess for the team. Looking at the team, there's no playmaker who is like a link between the attack and the midfield. So you can see that there's a vacuum in the midfield that someone has to fill. And the players playing now can't. We've seen midfielders like Mikel Merino. I don't think he's up to that standard to match up the performance of Martin Odegaard. So I think after the international break, we have to get Martin Odegaard back, else we'll be in like a different a very, very big trouble. Because looking at the Arsenal team, I think there's the missing piece is Martin Odegaard. Because when he's playing for for Arsenal, you can see a different ball game altogether. And his absence too, we've seen the Arsenal that It's kind of raw. There's no creativity. No one is like, taking players on in the midfield. It's just like control the ball, pass to the other player. That's all. For me, I think it's better they work on Martin Odegaard as soon as possible, because I don't think there's any other player on the bench who can replace him, and give us that performance that he used to give us. So if they are to use this international break or the coming international break to work on him to get him back, I think it will be a great addition to the team. But for now, I don't see anywhere we are using this kind of play to, win trophies or maybe even compete for the top four. If it continues like this, we might not even play top four. Yeah, for that
Because
one is for sure.
you look at against Bournemouth, it was only one chance or one on target Arsenal got on that game. Probably it could have been understandable because Arsenal had a red card in that game. But today's game, another one shot on target or one opportunity on target Arsenal got against Newcastle in the St. Park Stadium. But looking at one chance they've got, Declan Rice, what a clear chance, what a massive clear chance he got, but then could not score. And it could have been the turning point for the Gunners against Newcastle United. But then he could not score that goal. Do you think it's because maybe lack of commitment or maybe lack of zeal? That's why he was not able to utilize that opportunity.
Yeah, for me, he's a player who should have, put that ball at the back of the net. I don't know why. I think there's this kind of like, lack of motivation in it. I don't know, but it's like their players become a bit dull. I think Arteta has to work on the boys. I don't see the last season's Arsenal the spirit. I don't see the last 2 seasons Arsenal the spirit. It's like now everyone is playing like a normal football. That you don't see the passion from last season and any other thing. So Arteta has to work on the boys. It's if it continues like this, we are in a very big trouble. For me, that's one thing I've seen with the Arsenal team. If he is to work on them, maybe after the break, we will get a turning point. Maybe get one or two players in January to beef up the squad. If not, believe me, we are going to be in a very, 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 very big trouble. I don't see any improvement in this team. It's just like a normal play.
Yeah, because when you look at Newcastle, they came up very strong into the game. Even though Arsenal traveled there with a high hopes, but the way Newcastle United came into the game with a strong mentality, pressing up higher, could not allow Arsenal to even hold ball in the game, to even do whatever they used to do in the game was absolutely incredible. And Arsenal looked like coping. They could not even cope against Newcastle United in that game. And probably one thing that I could also say is, Arteta after the press conference said that when you are playing a team like Newcastle United and you allow them to play, they disrupt your play and they could not play their normal game into the game. But I feel like he could have changed something given the caliber of Arsenal players and the team and the exposure that they have already gotten in previous season. Do you think you could back him on that?
Yeah, I think Arteta knows better. He's been with the boys for about 5 years now, and such a comment coming from him, I don't think it's the right one. He's been with the players, so many times. He's been training with the players day in day out. So if he makes such a comment, I don't think it's a comment in the right direction. For me, he should have made some changes, to change the game, because we all know Newcastle to be a stubborn side. So if you're playing against them and your tactics is not working, you have to switch to maybe another formation or introduce other players into the game, to switch up like things a bit. I think it was an unfortunate comment from Mikel Arteta, but sometimes coaches also make mistakes, so you have to also pardon him on that. But as I said earlier on, I think Arteta should talk to the boys very well, because I don't see that as now passion anymore. It's like now they've lost interest in the play and everything. Oh, I don't know if he's not gotten his full squad, or maybe they have to add one or two players to the Arsenal team, to get all the full squad and perform to the best of their ability. But for now, personally, now I don't even enjoy watching their games anymore. I just decide to boycott or just watch other games than watching Arsenal play.
Yes, definitely something is wrong with the Gunners for sure, and Arteta has to change something as soon as possible because this is a game that we could probably be like laughing and jubilating. But then Arsenal, on the other hand, another disappointing and crucial points loss against Newcastle. Taking this back, Arsenal could have learned something from the EFL Cup against Chelsea or Chelsea Newcastle in the same stadium within the midweek when Chelsea was doing defensive errors and they were getting to score against Chelsea. This could have been something that will wake Arsenal up, but clearly shows that there is something wrong behind the scenes of the players. And I think it's high time, because we can't keep on complaining about Martin Odegaard not being present in the midfield. That is making Arsenal to lose games. But then, looking at Newcastle United, this win could actually prevent them, or maybe make them fight to come out of the relegation zone for sure. This win, moving forward, what do you think will give Newcastle United?
I think now it will just boost their confidence. Winning against Chelsea, scoring Arsenal this weekend, it will just boost up the confidence of the players. And now when they are coming to meet you, be rest assured that they are coming to attack. They are not going to defend or hold back. They are going to come all out and attack you. So I think Eddie Howe will also build on this one to give out that performance that we used to know of Newcastle last season or last 2 seasons ago, that they gave that performance. So I think, yeah, he's gotten the result that he needs for the boys to talk to the boy like, hey guys, we can go in all out, and maybe you also can be in the top four. So I think Eddie Howe has done a very good job with these Newcastle players, and I'm looking forward to see more from him.
Looking forward to see most of them. Guys, what do you think? Do you think Arsenal could turn the season around again, or is over for Arsenal? Let me know in the comment section, because this is just loss for the Gunners for sure. A team that would have been fighting for the top position right now is flopping with loss of points against teams like Bournemouth, and now it's Newcastle United. So let me know your opinions. Another big chance today, just one opportunity, and that makes it a big club, because when you get that big opportunity, you need to utilize it. Maybe if Declan Rice has scored that goal, it could have changed everything for the Gunners, but then he could not. And now we need to look way forward to see how things could probably change for the Gunners, because the season is still young. And for sure, let me know your opinions. And if you just join us and you are new, remember to hit the subscription button, like and share the video. And hey, we are going to see you in the next video. Ciao.